Today, like all Good Fridays, it's not that it's Good Friday, it's Oz T-shirt. Wear an Oz T-shirt to work day. And I dug up an old T-shirt that someone gave me a few years ago from this band. They were a little bit Ramones. They were a little, well, let's have a listen.
Ugly girls don't wanna date us, even cells don't wanna date us. If we were rich, you wouldn't need to date us. 'Cause even our friends hate us. Our mates don't even rate us, but just duplicate us. And hope you take a long hiatus. 'Cause even our friends hate us.
Now, that's the pHloggs. Even our friends hate us and our mates don't rate us. Yes, they were writing good stuff. We've got a couple of them on the phone now. We've got Lucky and Andy pHlogg. Lucky and Andy, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And do we put on speakerphone or what? This is going to be weird, I reckon.
Normally speakerphone goes a bit funny, but if you want to put it on speakerphone, let's give it a listen.
I'll tell you what, we'll do that. And if it doesn't work for your listeners, we'll go with the other way. How's that sound?
Perfect. It's 10 past 10. You're on ABC.
Okay, I'm Andy and it's Lucky.
Andy and Lucky pHlogg. Tell us the story of the pHloggs. When did they come about?
Yeah, 1999 was the year. We were just hanging around and, I don't know, we were a bit disillusioned with the underground Leeton music scene. So we felt we just had to do it ourselves, which is a very punk, I felt. None of us had instruments. I suppose Robbie pHlogg, well, he had instruments. And Robbie pHlogg, who's not with us, the ace of bass, he decided we needed to start a band, despite the fact that none of us could play or anything. Other than you. Okay, granted, other than you. And so we just formed the band. We couldn't play much else but the Ramones, as you said, and started writing our own stuff, you know, to tap into an underground of, you know, disenfranchised Leeton youth.
The underground music scene in Leeton, Lucky and Andy, has it kicked on?
Oh, well, look, it took a few years for it to kick on, so probably between about 99 and 2006 or 7 or 8, we probably averaged, 1 or 2 gigs a year in Leeton, and then weird things happened. So probably at about, 2009 or 10, I sort of got in touch with a few mates on Facebook, friends as they call them, who I didn't actually know from a bar of soap, but one of them happened to manage a little DIY record company out of Melbourne called We Empty Rooms. Lovely bloke named Jem, plays with a bloke named Jason, a band called Dead. And look, they put together boutique records for their for the bands on their label and themselves, and they've released the Hard-Ons had a 30th anniversary several years ago, and We Empty Rooms did the split 7 inches for them with the Melvins and you know, Neil Hamburger and a few other bands that escaped me. So I got in touch with Jem. Jem's band Dead were looking to tour the country, or at least the state, and was looking for halfway houses in between, you know, Melbourne and Sydney. So Jem got in touch with me on Facebook and said, do you reckon you can hook us up a gig in Leeton? And anyway, things happened from there. So I reckon between about 2011 and now, we've probably had 14 Aussie bands come through Leeton. We've had a Japanese band, Cyburn, German band, American band Vaz, who were 2/3 of a band called Hammerhead that were on the Amphetamine Reptile label back in the 90s. So things have happened in Leeton, and what was it, 3 weeks ago we had
a comeback show.
We had a comeback/farewell show. We had the VBs and the Australian Beef Week show played Leeton in what was meant to be our farewell, and as things work out, now we've got our 15 minutes of fame. So I figure Molly and the Krills were another band on the show that night. So look, not much happened for the first decade. We had a little bit of a cult following from the fanatics, as we used to call them, spelled with a PH, and it's only probably in the last, you know, decade, 7 or 8 years, that Leeton actually became a little bit of a spot on the touring grid for a few bands, probably underground bands to a certain extent. But you know, the VBs have played here twice. The first time they weren't allowed back for 2 years, but we got them back. And the Beef Week show, you know, and the VBs have headlined Summer Nats a couple of times. So so a bit has happened. Yeah.
You're on ABC Riverina. We're speaking to 2 members of the pHloggs, Lucky and Andy. I almost feel like the underground music scene has grown too much to be underground anymore in Leeton.
Oh, no, it'll be crawling back there very soon. It's a bit hard to... Well, you know, we do cater to a niche market, it has to be said. Like, we wrote our own songs because we couldn't play any others. As we got better, we started doing, like, the punk versions or Ramones versions of 80s cover songs. Yeah, I Ran and Wuthering Heights still... beautiful, wasn't it? Yeah.
Light Shadow.
Oh, stop, the memory. So, so we took a while. That sort of gave people a buy-in, and then, no, I don't think it'll happen. I mean, you can get a DJ for about $20 with a laptop. You know, we demand, you know, considerable rider and remuneration. So that rules ourselves out of getting too many gigs.
Pricing yourself out of the market.
Yeah, probably.
It's a very limited market.
It's a very limited market, yeah.
Well, that was even our friends hate us.
Now, that's how limited the market is. We're not, you know, on, you know, an island anywhere basking in, you know, sun and martinis and stuff like that. Like, we're actually at work. As you might have to tell those kids to turn the video down. Anyway, yeah.
Well, that's even our friends hate us. We've got a little bit. We'll play another one, and these are from Triple J Unearthed if people want to find a couple of the pHloggs numbers. Ponds Institute, how did that come about?
Oh, beautiful.
Great track.
Well, you know, you see Oil of Uland, you see the ads and everyone just seems to be in slow motion. It's all beautiful and white. And I was just sitting here in Leeton, it might have been a hot day or something. I thought, well, I'd rather live in the Ponds Institute. Give me 10 to 20 minutes, I'll knock up some lyrics, we'll throw some chords together in 5 and we're on.
Fucking solo in there too.
It was very tidy work.
This is the radio edit, I think. There's an extended version out there.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the radio edit. So it's good that it's being played on radio.
Well, it's a first for us.
Someone sent us a note saying this is the nephew's band. He plays bass up in around Lismore as well. Not sure if they have much merch, but would make a great T-shirt.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who that's from. Uncle someone.
I don't know. Look, before you play this, speaking of T-shirts, probably our best design, we got, in a bit of a coup for the pHloggs, Rayan of the Hard-Ons fame, Nunchucker Superfly, who I can call a friend. He designed our... probably our most popular T-shirt design.
Yeah.
And
the one that looks like one, not the transfer print on a white shirt from Best and Less one, which is what old mate wore to your work this morning.
Well,
Correct.
that was me. It was me.
Well, you've done well. I don't know how you've even still got it. Like, I wore mine out about 15 years ago.
I have been accused. Someone's already accused me online of stealing it from them, but I claim they gave it to me.
No, I'm down with that. I'll just let the mystery stay, and that'll, you know, heighten the tension, and, you know, next thing you know, we might be on the bill at, I don't know, what's the one Coachella or something?
Coachella?
We might end up at Coachella.
Falls Festival. Oh, I don't know.
No, we just go straight to Coachella.
Yeah.
And for people that haven't seen it, it's David, but he's got a pair of Y fronts on, so he's smart and he's act up a bit.
I did that on paint. Well, you know, I thought it was a bit lewd, even though anatomists will say the statue of David is anatomically perfect. I thought, well, you know, you can't have a penis on the, you know, on your T-shirt, can you really? So we are. I think we still are. Like, we're looking back at this interview as we speak.
Gentlemen, the quote you make is restoring decency to a sick world, and I think that says it all.
I think so, and that's what we tried to do, and I don't know if we were successful or not, and well, this topic will probably be discussed after our death, you know, when we suddenly realise, that's what they were about. I was right into them. No, you weren't. You're just saying that now. You know,
we'd be trendy then.
We'll be trendy then when we're like, we might be might be in a nursing home. Oh, yeah, Best and Less. You'll get one for $10 next to the Ramones ones and the Guns Kiss and Guns N' Roses. There'll be a pHloggs shirt there.
Yeah. Well, people always said no one liked Akadaka and Cold Chisel were a bit hard at the time, but later everyone loved them.
Yeah, true.
There's hope. There's hope for the pHloggs.
There is hope for the pHloggs, yeah.
Lucky.
We'll be back on the road before we can say Farnham.
Lucky, Andy, I know you've said things have changed and you've now got jobs and things. I better let you get back to them. Thanks for having a chat this morning.
Thank you very much, mate. Keep going. It's Friday. We're not in a hurry.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, right.
See you, mate. Bye now.
Here's a bit more of the Ponds Institute. Oh, here's the Ponds Institute. Lucky and Andy Phlogg there.
I must be getting old, cause girls just walk right past me. I see another world where people take it slow. On the TV ads, I see a place I want to go to. I want to live in the Ponds Institute. Walk around in rows and let that hand flute play. My skin and solar in the Ponds Institute.
There you go. He was in Leeton, in the Riverina, Western Riverina, one hot summer day, and he dreamed of the Ponds Institute.